Am I the a-hole for not helping my sister pay for her dream wedding after I lent her money for a baby deletion? I, 28F, have always been close with my younger sister, E, 25F. We've been through a lot together. Our parents' divorce, moving back and forth between houses, helping each other through breakups, family drama, you name it. I've always seen myself as her protector. About a year ago, E came to me in tears. She had just found out she was pregnant. She and her fiancé, M, 26M, weren't in a good place financially, and she made it clear she didn't want to keep the pregnancy and she didn't want him to know. She was terrified it would mess up their relationship or that he would leave her if he found out. She asked if I could help her cover the cost of a baby deletion because she didn't have access to her own savings without him noticing. After a long, tearful conversation, I agreed and lent her $1,200. She promised she would pay me back, maybe not right away, but as soon as she could. I told her okay and that I trusted her and left it at that. Fast forward 8 months. E and M are now planning a massive, expensive wedding, fancy venue, designer dress, open bar, live band, and the works. I was honestly happy for her. She seemed excited and I was glad she felt like her life was back on track. Then last week, she asked if I could chip in a few $1,000s to help cover wedding costs. She said, it's not just about the money, it's about the family supporting each other on the most important day of her life. I was stunned. I gently reminded her she still hasn't paid me back, and she immediately got defensive and said that was a totally separate situation and that I was being petty bringing it up. She argued that I offered to help back then, but now I was holding it over her head when this was supposed to be a joyful time. I tried to explain that it wasn't about punishment, but that I'm not rolling in money either, and it feels wrong to give even more when she hasn't even honored her promise that she made. But she just called me selfish, unsupportive, and said I'm trying to ruin her big moment. I feel hurt, but now I'm wondering if maybe I am the a-hole and should have helped her anyway. For context, I am not rolling in money either. I have debt I need to pay, and I'm single, meaning I pay all of my bills alone, not split in two like she does. She hasn't brought up repaying me since, and I kept quiet. Partly because I didn't want to guilt her, partly because I thought maybe she'd eventually do the right thing without being pushed. So am I the a-hole for asking the money back?
Here are the top comments.
She's being a brat. No one is entitled to a fancy wedding, and I can't think of a bigger waste of money for a young couple.
Not the a-hole. $1,200 is a lot of money. If she's asking for other people to contribute to her wedding, she needs to scale back and have a wedding she and her fiancé can afford. Side note, don't love that she never told the fiancé about the baby deletion. If she didn't trust him enough to tell him, how does she trust him enough to get married?
Not the a-hole. If they can't cover the wedding, they need to scale it back or save more for themselves.